Hey everyone, GuardianE here with another live reaction and first impression video in Fire Emblem Heroes, and tonight we should be getting the reveal of the new legendary hero, Roy. Yeah, it's been leaked. Everybody knows it's been leaked. The Google Play Store accidentally put that up as a notification that Roy Brave Lion would be the next legendary hero. So we know who's coming, but we don't necessarily know what he's coming with and who he's coming with. So, let's watch the trailer together for the first time. Alright, here it is. Everybody act surprised. Don't let them know that we know. A new legendary hero joins the battle. And there he is, the Blazing Lion.
Let us bring forth a new era.
Okay, Roy, he is going to be an infantry sword unit. Okay, Dragonbind for his weapon, Dragon Fang. Bonus Doubler 3. That is a very weird sounding skill. Ooh, look at that animation. Very cool. Obviously, he had distant counter because he was attacking a bow user that was attacking him. Alright, so we're going to get Gunthra, Ephraim, Grima, Xander, Micaiah, Niles, Corrin, Mikoto. Okay, a lot of Adrift. Surtur, Creed. Okay, alright. So obviously we're going to take a step back, take another look at the trailer, take another look at the units, as well as Roy himself. That flaming sword animation, very, very cool looking. And clearly he has some form of distant counter, whether it's built into his weapon or his new A slot, whatever that is. I feel like that has been a gripe of Roy since the very beginning of the game, that he did not have an inherent distant counter in some way when his weapon is the Binding Blade. And so he does have it in some form or another. And so let's take another look, let's replay, and take a closer look at his skills. But yeah, his art looks pretty good, pretty impressive. It does look like they're going to be switching back and forth between legendary and mythic heroes. So Blazing Lion.
Let us bring forth a new era together.
Yeah, I like his outfit. It's classically Roy. Okay, let's pause here right quick. Okay, I wanted to take a quick look at the footnote here. All it says is that there's more info on the in-game summoning screen. Okay, so Dragonbind is his weapon. It is a 16 might sword. As we noted before, he is an infantry sword user, which is a little boring. I think some people might consider it a little bit boring, but Marth is an infantry sword user, and he is absolutely amazing. So hopefully Roy can also follow in his footsteps. So we have effective against dragon foes. Unit can counterattack regardless of foe's range. Okay, so it is going to be his weapon that has the built-in distant counter. So he has what is basically a distant counter dragon effective weapon. I mean, that's solid. That's very solid. Dragon Fang for the special boosts damage by 50% of unit's attack for cooldown. Okay, for his A slot, Bonus Doubler 3. Grants bonus to attack speed defense res during combat equal to the current bonus on each of unit's stats. Calculates each stat bonus independently. Really? Interesting. Okay, so that means that when he has activated buffs on him, like a Rally, like a Hone, like a Fortify, like a Tactic skill, Bonus Doubler 3 doubles those independent stats. So if somebody uses Rally Attack 3 on him, gives him a bonus 4 attack, the Bonus Doubler 3 will give him an in-combat buff of an extra 4 attack. That's pretty amazing. That's actually a really, really powerful skill. It, has one glaring weakness, of course, as with any, Blade Toe mages have a similar weakness in that Panic Ploy, or any basically debuff effect, similar to Panic Ploy, a map-wide effect, whatever that may be, will basically render him without an A slot. And A slots are so strong because they're stat-boosting skills. So at its best, it's going to make him a wrecking ball of stats. At its worst, it's going to do nothing. so that is, something to consider. Very, very powerful A slot skill. Looks like it's inheritable. And honestly, something that I think a lot of Blade Toe mages might be interested in using. I don't know if it's going to be infantry locked. It seems like all of the fun toys lately are infantry locked, but I guess we'll just see when the data mine happens whether or not this skill can be inherited to units beyond infantry. But it's very interesting. It's an interesting skill. Has a lot. It's not foolproof. It does have a weakness, but it can be very potent and powerful. So I like that. I like that it has, a chink in the armor, so to speak, but at the same time can be extremely, extremely powerful all the same. Okay, so renewal for the B slot, an interesting choice. And then for the C slot, Human Virtue. At start of turn, if unit is adjacent to any allies that are not Beast or Dragon allies, grants attack speed +6 to unit and those allies for 1 turn. Interesting. So Roy, a little bit of a speciest, isn't he? Doesn't like to be around beasts or dragons. He's not about that life. So, but he does. So it's similar to the beast condition where they have to be around beasts, except Human Virtue does not activate if he's alone. So he has to be adjacent to somebody in order for the attack speed +6 to go off. But obviously that synergizes with bonus doubler, because if he gets that attack speed +6, bonus doubler effectively makes it attack speed +12, right? So that is very interesting. I can definitely see him being a force to be reckoned with on the battlefield if the enemy team does not have the means of dealing with his buffs and his stacking buffs. I don't think he's quite as unique and powerful as Legendary Marth, but all the same, I do think that he brings some new fun things to the table. He has his own special C-slot skill and his own weapon, and the fact that he has built-in distant counter is definitely a good thing. That said, I almost think that they could have added another effect to the Dragon Bind, and it wouldn't have been overkill. Something small. I don't know what exactly. Maybe even a special cooldown -1 or something like that. Just because it feels, I guess, a little starved. And maybe that's, maybe the context being all of these weapons that we've seen recently have ridiculous walls of text, and it's blinded me to the fact that this weapon is perfectly fine as it is. But I do think that he could have had another effect on his Dragon Bind, and nobody really would have batted an eye. But all the same, I think Roy comes with a very interesting kit, very potent kit that synergizes well, and yeah, we'll just have to see what his stat line ends up being. So let's keep going. Check out his attack animation again. I love this. Amazing.
I will never back down.
Look at that damage. All right. So these heroes also appear in the event. Gunthra, Ephraim, Grima, Xander, that dance, Micaiah, okay, Niles, both Corins, Mikoto, Surtur, and Freed. So let's pause here, take a look at these units. Actually, now that I'm looking at this, Roy has a weird icon where it usually is like, okay, so obviously he's a fire legendary hero and it provides a buff. The symbol for the buff is something that we haven't seen before. I'm not sure what that means. So I guess it's something that'll be revealed in the data mine when he comes out, but he could have a different effect from the other legendary heroes. The other legendary heroes have all provided a stat buff in some way. Maybe his is going to be an effect. Maybe, it looks like a lightning bolt, or maybe a path, or a river. It looks like a lightning bolt, frankly. So I'm wondering if maybe it's a special charge. Maybe he'll reduce the special charge on turn 1 or permanently of his allies that also have a fire blessing on them. I don't know. I guess we'll have to see. But that actually is a whole new thing to consider, because I was only looking at his skills, obviously, and his stats have yet to come out. But if he has that sort of unique effect as a legendary hero, that kind of opens him up a lot more in terms of what he brings to the table. Depending on what that is, if it's special charge or if it's like, I don't know. Like I said, it kind of looks a little bit like a lightning bolt or a path. So maybe it's additional movement, or I feel like that would be a little overkill. I don't know. But we'll have to see. That's kind of a loose end. We'll have to see what that actually is before we can finally really fully evaluate Roy as a legendary hero. But certainly seems like he's going to at least bring something very new. So we'll have to see how that pans out. Okay, so looking at the colors now, let's break down the colors. So Roy is obviously red. Freed is another legendary hero on the red side of things. They are accompanied by Micaiah, who is a red tome dancer. And that is a pretty stacked color. 2 legendary heroes and a dancer. You can't really ask for much more than that. That's actually a really excellent color to pull on. If you're missing any or all of those characters, I think that red, and you're fans of those characters, red is absolutely a contender here. Let's take a look at blue. So blue has Ephraim, Niles, and Corrin. Pretty good. I mean, Niles is strong. Ephraim can be incredibly powerful, and he's a legendary hero. And Corrin is an absolute beast as well. I think that color lacks a little bit of the wow factor that red has, because red has 2 legendary heroes, and Micaiah is pretty amazing. But blue is very solid nonetheless. Green, we have Surtur, Gunthra, and Corrin. Both Corrins of the Adrift banner, very strong, worth going for sure. Gunthra, one of the earlier legendary heroes, so not a whole lot of glitz and glamour, but she does have actually some pretty effective skills, and unique to her. And then there's Surtur, which everybody and their mother will tell you is amazing and broken. I think he's overrated. But green is definitely, probably along the same lines as blue, if not maybe a little bit better than blue to pull for, I would say. And then for colorless, we have Mikoto, we have Grima, and we have Xander. Grima has been on so many legendary hero banners by now. You probably already have her if you like her. Mikoto has a great kit from the Adrift banner. I just don't know if people are going to be going in that hard for an infantry healer that isn't Loki. I don't know if she brings so much to the table that people will be going specifically for her. And then there's Xander, who, despite his amazing dance, he is a dagger dancer, so he is unique in his own right, but there are competing dancers on this banner as well. So if I had to rate the selection personally, by color, I would put red up there at the top, green would be below that, blue would be very close to green, and then colorless right below that. For me personally, I don't think I'm going to be pulling on this banner very hard at all. A lot of the units on this banner that I would be interested in getting, I actually already have. Roy looks really cool. I'd love to have him, but I can wait. Maybe the effect of his legendary hero skill might change my mind or something like that. At least for the time being, I think I'm comfortable with just kind of doing my free pull and moving on and saving my orbs. Some of it may even rely on whether or not Roy's A skill is inheritable to non-infantry units, or namely flyers. We'll see. So let me know in the comments below what you think about Roy, what you think of the banner, if you're going to be going in hard on this one. So let me know in the comments below what you think about Roy, what you think about the banner, if you're excited for it, if you're going to be pulling on it. I wish you the best of luck if you are. Let me know what your targets are in the comments below. I appreciate you coming along the ride and watching the trailer for the first time with us. Hopefully you enjoyed. And if you did, please feel free to leave us a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more Fire Emblem Heroes content. We thank you so much for watching. We really, really do appreciate it. And until next time, let's protect those skies.